Ghost! Some people believe, some don't. They don't know what ghosts look like. They only feel strange phenomena, chills, fear, and restlessness. There are many dense forests in Vietnam, each of which extends from a few hundred meters to several tens or hundreds of kilometers. Under the forest canopy is where many species live, and souls also exist there, existing in parallel between supernatural forces and existing humans. I only mentioned the phenomena in the area of Dilin Lam Dong and Bac Bin Thuan. This road is often used by many people. Many people know it. The forest is long. The forest has existed for a long time. Many people live and earn their living in the forest, are born, grow up, die in accidents, die from diseases, eat meat from wild animals. Many very unjust deaths. Maybe that's why it's difficult for them to escape. Along the road, there are many small and large shrines, low and high graves like termite mounds of many shapes. At first, I didn't pay attention and ran past, but later I understood the saying. The land has the land, the river has the river. Actually, the souls are wandering somewhere. The lumberjacks believe this very much. They believe that unjust souls exist under the branches and shade. No matter how ferocious and brutal the loggers were when cutting down the forest, they still left a large tree on the top of the hill, the purpose of which was to retain shade for the souls residing in that area to take refuge. Ghost exists in many places. Nearest is Miss Deep's shack, under a tree with a small altar. Many of you who heard the challenge and wanted to feel it tried to sleep under that tree and had a general feeling of difficulty sleeping. The sounds, noises, and breezes seemed to touch you and chase you away. Your body just got goosebumps. Maybe they were just gentle souls who were chased away by passing brothers. Continuing on, you will pass the airport and go down to a wide stream as you cross the trail back to Kala Lake. There were a few people who saw the figure of a mother and child holding hands together in the stream every night, their white clothes fluttering under the moonlight, even though it was pitch black. Some people were afraid to run away or wake up. The truth is that in the past, there was a mother and her child from a compatriot who were critically ill, and both mother and child died in this stream. Passers-by dug shallow holes to bury them on the bank of the stream. When you pass by, remember to report. Before, I showed the grave to light incense sticks. The story of the mother and daughter in white shirts was seen by her friend and husband. But when talking about the horror and danger, we must mention the Thung Phui Valley, this place I just learned about exactly 20 days ago, when talking and telling the forest rangers and lumbermen. It is called the Valley of Drums because it has many drums containing Agent Orange and herbicides, which during the war the Americans dropped so that grass could not grow. In the picture, there is a Pajero car that I damaged and repaired in this valley. It was dark at night. It was raining, passing by. All 3 cars broke their winch at the same time. The other car broke down and couldn't move anymore. The vehicles had to use ropes to anchor themselves in the middle of the slope. Hungry and tired, but everyone was depressed, feeling scared and not wanting to eat even though they had been starving all day. Everyone was tired and got into the car to sleep. I drive a 2-door Pajero. The rear window frame was pulled open. It was very heavy and difficult to pull, just like a bus. That night I was tired and fell asleep. The car shook slightly. The draft was cold. The window, it's easy to open ... T-quote-S difficult for someone to open it, but the wind can't open it. Looking out, there's only the dim light of the car's headlights on to block out the darkness ... It feels really scary. I've never been so scared. So many images and sounds keep ringing in my ears. In the morning, the other cars all had the same feeling. Someone in Hung Bin Phuoc's car threatened to drive him away. We spent 3 days just wandering around within a radius of 500 m without being able to get out. After burning incense and lamps, we prayed to get back out because we were lost. The day I sat and talked with the forestry staff, I learned that everyone, loggers, forestry staff, and people who went there, were lost and gloomy. Right where I stopped the car to sleep, 10 years ago there was a woodsman logging a tree, had his head cut off by a tree. The brothers accompanying him were too afraid to bury him poorly there. The lumbermen who passed through this area were also hesitant. Rocky slope, legendary slope. The cars going up this slope are full of rocks. Honda cars, agricultural vehicles, tractors, off-road vehicles. Pass by, no vehicle is damaged. The truth is that the road you traveled before is a road, later eroded. People opened a road next to it. On the other side is a deep abyss. On this side are scattered small shrines. To open the road, you have to run through all the shrines and graves. I passed by, breaking the silence, stepping on their bodies. They are right to be angry. The local people who pass by here all have their own rules. You don't know, so you just block the car passing by, talking nonsense. In some areas, there are still a few tigers and bears caught in traps, wounds left behind, and sometimes still wandering around the area. Footprints are still left around the camping area. Chef Keen also posted a picture of the tiger's footprint for you all to see and know. When going to the Grapefruit Garden, Eagle Peak Airport, right on the high slope, Keen Nguyen's car flipped over. Everyone ran out to search for rescue. Me and 2 other men sat in the middle of the night. The forest and mountains were dark and dark. Suddenly, 3 woodsmen passed by and stopped by. Seeing that, I cut ban chung, spring rolls, and cigarettes and offered them to them. They continued to talk and asked me where I was going. After a while of chatting, they said, "Guys, find rescuers to pull the car out. If you can't make it in time, leave the car in the forest and go out to the people to sleep. Don't stay overnight here." I half believed, half suspected, kept asking. The lumberjack, who seemed to be the most experienced in the group, took a long drag of his cigarette, slowly said, "Not more than 10 years ago, the forest in this area was so dense that the lumberjacks pulled mining day and night. Trucks and plow trucks bustled in and out. One day, a group in Huang Lam commune, Da Te, felled a very large tree, so they called a truck to pull it out. Because the tree was too big, they cut it into 3 pieces. Then, take the steel cable and tie it up and hoist it onto the car. The tree skewers from the front of the car to the rear of the car, just a few inches away from touching the ground. The lumberjacks climbed up the tree and sat down to let the car take them out, going to this slope, where we were sitting. Because the slope was too high, the turn was sharp, the car stalled and fell down. The tree touched the ground, so it was pushed up. The lumberjack sitting on the tree trunk quickly jumped down, but a few people got stuck because they were sitting. Right when the steel cable is tied to the tree, the cable gets caught in it, rubbing against the wood. Not all corpses died. Some jumped down, some died, and others were injured. The scene was indescribably horrifying. Since then, the lumberjacks who passed by here all lingered to light cigarettes and stick them in the ground for the deceased. After he finished telling the story, I turned the light to look closely and saw that the surrounding area was full of medicinal rolling pins and incense sticks. Suddenly, goosebumps covered my body. I said goodbye to the group of lumberjacks, but God bless us all and come back soon. The feeling at that moment was unforgettable. At Lu Li Waterfall for the second time, the group came to conquer the 7-story waterfall. deep in Nam Nung National Forest. Last time we had to give up and return when we were only 7 km away from the waterfall. This time, we had to give up and return when we were only 7 km away from the waterfall. The heavily equipped vehicle also has a filming and logistics team accompanying Huingo's off-road master vehicle. The first night camping at the waterfall after getting drunk, me, Mei Dao, High CC, lying on the sheet, sleeping soundly without a tent. It was cold at night. I woke up, walked out to go to the toilet, looked at the natural jungle, and felt a shiver next to my accomplices who were pulling saws noisily. Later, when I returned here many more times, I was also told many stories related to this place by local people. Hearing these stories was guaranteed to give me chills. I'll tell you more when I have free time.